All right. Uh, Good morning, good evening, good afternoon from wherever you are. On behalf of Delhi Power BI User Group and Philippines Power BI User Group, we welcome you all to the uh, almost like last event of this financial year, which is March Power BI Delhi User Group monthly meetup. We are having monthly meetup every month. So even if you are watching us and even if you are also wanted to be a part of this journey and wanted to speak about some topic, feel free to connect us on the different social media handles that we have. And today's last event of this financial year is something which is very interesting. Like what we have planned is it's nothing like a full-fledged one topic session. It like we are going to cover four different topics throughout this session. So we all organizer have thought that this time let us present something with all of you, and that's why we are come up with some of the cool new features of Power BI March feature updates. Along with that, we will cover a few things about AI and some other cool interesting thing. I don't want to share all the topics at this moment to just have all of your interest throughout the session. So without me talking more, let me just hand over the stage to one of our organizer, Mr. Rajendra Ongole. Hey Rajendra,
Hi,
stage is
Driven.
all yours, and
Thank you.
you
Thank
can
you.
go ahead and start with.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Driven. Hi, everyone. Let me share my screen. Hope it is visible as well. So I'd just like to give a brief about myself. I'm Rajendra. I'm a BA consultant and a specialist on one of the organization manufacturing side. And totally I have 12 years on Microsoft technologies as well as the data warehouse. And past 7 years onwards, I'm continuously working on end-to-end activities and Power BI. So, and if you want to get in touch with me, LinkedIn is there, so you can get in. And me if you have any doubts or else any clarifications required. And I started recently blogging as well. So this is about brief, and I'll just try to share my knowledge and also March 2023 release on object interaction, which is a cool feature. So there is a lot of interesting changes are coming up as part of monthly. There are going Microsoft is going to release some new and cool features, and in that on object interaction is plays very important role. As if you are observing in the community itself, there is a lot of voting session is going on. So the favorite feature of this March 2020 release. So if you are observing on the right hand side, email subscription, this is a cool feature as well.
Rajendra, you went on mute. Just a hold, Rajendra. Yes, I think somehow you went on mute.
Yeah.
Can you hear now?
Yeah,
Yes,
you're
yes.
good.
Just
Sorry for
repeat the
that.
last part.
Fine, fine. Introduction is clear, right? Fine.
Yep,
Yes,
go
yes.
So
ahead.
if you are observing this on object feature, whatever the new releases has been happened this month, is these are the list of features which you are observing on my right hand side. Email subscription for the scorecard, multi audience, storytelling in Power BI, apply all selection button. So if you are navigating and you're providing some community features, try to add what is your cool feature on this right hand side. So I just added myself and I have voted. So if you're observing my screen, so these are the votes has been polled as of now as per the cool feature part on object interaction, which is around 54%. So on what it is and what is the features, how it has been implemented. Let me share my Power BI desktop application as well. See here, previously, if you are observing, there is a visual pane completely. The visual pane below that a fields pane is available. Now it has been moved. Once you turn on this feature, right, you can able to see this visual interaction in the top itself. So each and every segregation, like a bar to column and line to area, waterfall chart. So they have segregated in a manner like forever easiest references, right? So maps, and if you can easily select it and we can try to navigate onto your canvas itself. And if you're still interested to add a few more visuals in the sense like a custom visuals, we can use it in the down below, get more visualizations. We can try to add some new customized visualizations as well. So along with that, if you're observing this right hand side, these are the icons. If you're observing, there's a last edge I pointed over. Data view, previously we can see a data layout like a fields pane with below the table information, but has been moved to a data, a kind of a dedicated database or something like that. Along with that, format pane. And still, if you want to add this particular right hand side, the panel in the sense, we can try to add it. So it's a very cool feature if you're trying to add. As of now, filter pane is there and data format, and if you want to add bookmarking as well, we can get it in the form of a switcher, like a pane switcher. We can just try to select whatever you are expecting. We can try to add it in the data, or else formatting the layout, or else maybe if you're interested in the bookmarking, we can try to add it as well. Selection pane too. So all this come into a completely vertical pane, and we can try to navigate, shift between one to another. Like that, if you want to add some visualization, previously we are trying to drag and drop first the visualization or the data. Now it's a very interesting feature. So directly you can right click on the top of the canvas, add a visualization. Just try to select it. So it's a new kind of a view. If you're observing, once you get added some visualization, previously we can try to drag and drop some fields, right? Now if you are observing here, there is a new feature, something like a suggest a type. So what type of visual? Sometimes we will miss to choose a right visualization. So this time they are providing based on the AI on suggestion based. If you can try to turn off, you can see the list of views like a x-axis. We can manually drag and drop the fields on particular category. X-axis means x-axis, y-axis category, and so on. If you can try to enable this suggest as a feature, we can just try to add the data based on the data set. This is my data. So just try to drag and drop here, or else directly select it. So previously, if you're observing for a number, we are able to see something like a clustered column chart, like a bar we are trying to project it. Now, the feature as per the March on object release, there has been changed. We can able to observe that directly a KPI kind of information, like a direct card visualization. From here, we can try to choose whatever you are expecting to add it, like a table, or else if you are trying to add some more fields, or else a visual selection change, we can try to select the visuals here itself. Okay. Still, I want to add some more data to this. I can directly add it by selecting like this, simply in this way. So automatically the chart has been converted. Previously, it was a card visualization. Now the chart has been converted to the bar. So if you're observing the stacked bar chart, it has been available, right? So many features are there. If you're observing the title, previously we went for the format pane and we are trying to use the title and all. Now this time you can directly select it here. Directly on the top of this particular visualization itself, we can try to change the title also. Maybe I'm just want to change the title to city wise total climb cost. So we no need to go back to the format view or else to try to change the title of the your report. We can directly use that information here itself. Maybe I would just want to adjust in the center. I can adjust it here. See this? We can just make it as a center also. Header. And maybe I would just want to change the font. Just try to increase it. Font type. In this way. Right? Even this part, if you're observing, there is a highlighting, right? This is my y-axis. So if you're observing my right hand side pane, it is directly, right? Whenever I'm selecting something, it is interacting. So that instead of searching for something, we can directly navigate to that search option. We can change whatever you're expecting, the font size or else a font type. We can change it accordingly as well. Even this is my y-axis title. Maybe I just want to add some more information like a city-wise. I can change it accordingly here. This is my title. So like that, we have an x-axis part as well. So whenever I'm selecting, if you're observing the filter, the format is getting changed and it is navigating and pointing out to that particular x-axis pane. So this title, we can change it accordingly. Even if you want to add the data labels, we can add it here. So see here, add to the visualizations, what you want to add. So I'll just try to add the labels to it. Instead of previously searching and format on the pane and try to navigate to the data labels, we can just try to enable that feature, cool feature here by just adding this data label part, right? So this is like a visual level. We can try to do many activities. And also we can, instead of searching for something on the format pane, we can make use of this option and we can change it accordingly. Maybe I'll just try to add the full number. Let me add it. values, right? Like that. And one more thing, there is an toggle is there. Let me share you that as well. So this option, right, on object interaction option as a cool feature, we need to enable in here. Preview feature part. This is the new feature on object interaction. So suppose if you want to learn what are the new things, we can just try to select this learn more option so that whatever the new features has been get added, we can try to observe in this particular on object level. We can see the many activities like object wise, how many things are also filter pane wise, filter on this visualizations part. Just now I shared with this analysis. So this particular number also we can try to add or also format this access level part. So you can please turn on this feature, try to close and open your Power BI desktop application so that this on object interaction visualization will be enabled to you. So and then we can play around it. So as per just now, I'm starting using it and trying to accommodate whatever the new things on this part. I'm just trying to understanding the part as well as I'm adding and trying to share to my customers as too. Along with that, let me share you something. The selection, right? See this? So still this small multiple activity is not enabled for, as a part of on object interaction, still it is an implementation part. So maybe in future we can try to add small multiples also. Still it is as per the limitations part, if you're observing, is still they have to implement some more. However, the small multiples is not currently supported. There's a limitation. Other than that, on object is currently working for the bar, column, or else area, scatter plot chart too. And format mode is currently not supported for the mobile layout, and focusing mode also is not supporting for the focusing mode part. So this is one more drill through feature. Previously, if you are observing this visualization, this particular snapshot, you can see below the values like a drill through, like a cross filter as a keep all filters. This particular option is available in our previous view, but this has been changed and added to the format your visualization itself. So I'm just trying to show you that part as well. See here, format here, page information part, page type. We can try to add the drill through. Previously, we are trying to add, if we want to navigate from one to another drill through methodology, we have to add it some field and we can try to navigate. So we can try to select it from here, try to add the particular field, which page or else which particular data wise you want to navigate, and we can observe that particular analysis. Drill through format is available on this page information itself. Okay, instead of previously, right, we can try to add that particular field and then the data will be get filtered accordingly. We will get some back mark button and then we can navigate it. But this time by using this drill through, we just added this particular area in the format your visualizations part itself. And along with that, what I have noticed when I'm using the forecasting or as a prediction kind of a analysis, I can see if analytics mode, right? If you're observing something like analytics option is there. If you're using line chart or else something, let me add that visualization too. See here. I hope you're seeing. So markers, we can able to add it here, which is very important. Instead of navigating to this, formative or visualization, we can add the markers and even the data labels too. And if you're observing these things like analytics information, so we can try to directly add it on this format your visualization itself. So we can try to add the trend line or else a forecasting part. We can navigate and try to see the forecastings too. So previously we can try to add some numbers and then we can navigate to the analytics pan, right? This particular activity we can try to add it in the add to the your visualization. So here itself we can try to add it, and we can incorporate those new changes and visualize it accordingly. So these are the new features which I have observed as per the part of continuous learning. And if you find any new things or else something which we can share it our knowledge as well. Thank you, Dhiruvin. Thanks for giving this opportunity. And I just want to share this on object interaction with everyone who participated in this call.
Mhm. Yep. That's really great feature. Like it's totally new, brand new, and when we are started using this feature, it's like it's something like we need to get used to it, because usually when you are doing the traditional development from last couple of years, we
Yeah.
are used with the
Field
left hand
pane.
side visualization pen,
True,
and
true.
we are always using that. But yeah, it's really helpful, and obviously like it is similar like a Office ribbon. So similar like in Excel, PowerPoint, we have this kind of ribbon. We are trying to accommodate similar like that. So obviously for citizen developer as well, it will be easy to
Yeah.
understand what this all mean by. But yeah, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts around
Thank
this on
you.
object interaction. It's really helpful.
And stop. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Right.
Thanks
It's a
everyone.
major paradigm shift, I'll say.
Yes.
I'm
Absolutely.
finding it difficult to adopt to it immediately, but yes,
Correct.
the sooner the better, because this is the way to go.
Exactly. Even like yesterday when I updated the Power BI desktop, and when I was trying to build my existing one, I was struggling with like
Mhm.
where are those options go? At a first go, I was realizing that where are I just clicked my left hand side section 2 or 3 more times that I have hidden something, but then I realized that whole things is moved at the
Yes.
top, and yeah, I
Right.
just go through the update and realize that, yeah, but it's a good one. Obviously, we need
Yes.
to adopt this moving
Correct.
forward.
So, Rajan,
Yeah.
one thing that I haven't tried is opening an existing report with this new one.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that if you're opening an existing one, that wouldn't work the same way, or there may be some changes
Correct.
in there.
Yes.
So if we open an existing one, right,
Existing
and
report. Yes.
use new object interaction, I think it will become incompatible for all others.
New. Yes.
So we
New
need to
report
proceed
development.
cautiously, right? Either
Old.
all
Yes.
team, the whole team moves to the new version, or just you know we stick to
Trying
the
to
old
take
Yeah.
some
ones.
time, but if you can
Hmm.
understand, I mean, on object process for old reports, I'm also feeling the difficulty. If it is a new
Hmm.
things means new things, I can easily add that feature, and like we can try to add it very
Correct.
quickly, the visualization part. But understanding on the old how and what type of custom visualizations we are using, it is not working. That's what I have observed.
Right.
Right.
Is
Right.
it
So
a
some of the
preview? Is it
customization,
is it in a
yes,
preview version or is still in
yes, it's
the?
still a preview feature.
It's still
So
in
Preview
at
and
least, we
optional as well,
can. So
and
at least
optional
we
as
can
well, Prince.
disable. Yeah, I think then we can disable it, right? Because
You
then
could,
that's the
you could.
only way of
But
doing.
the
Yeah.
idea is that even if one person in the team sharing the PBIX does this, then it becomes incompatible for all others.
Correct.
So either it would be like either the whole team moves to it or you choose to stay. So the adoption process of this is going to be a bit tricky here. I think that the whole team as a whole should make a plan and move towards it with proper training.
Correct.
All
absolutely,
right.
absolutely. Yeah, but yeah, good one. All right.
Thank
So we will move to the next topic. I think Prince, you would like to go from here
Yeah.
and share your
And,
topic.
yeah, Devin, can you go because my Power BI just hanged. The whole thing has hanged. I just messaged on the group.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
you
Okay.
go next,
No
and then I'll
worries.
do it. Then I'll do.
No,
Then I'll do.
no worries, no worries. So let me just quickly share my screen. So today I'm going to talk about a very basic but very important feature which is rolled out during this month. Let me share my screen quickly. Let me know if the screen is available.
Screen is, and I see a awesome Power BI report on it.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so this is one of the data story Power BI report. I didn't develop it honestly. I pick up something from the Power BI gallery, but let me just talk about this feature. So basically, sometimes what happens is where we have a huge data source and we have created our Power BI report, and at the time we have slicer implemented on the top. Just assume that currently I have only 3 slicer, but you have more than 3, 5 or 6 slicers. So sometimes what happens here is due to amount of the data that we have in the report, when we apply the slicer, sometimes it take time to load your visualization, because at the time time automatically it will start taking the slicer effect on your page. Now in order to improve that thing into your Power BI, basically they are coming with two awesome buttons, which is apply all slicers and clear all slicers. Now these two buttons are natively available in the Power BI desktop. Now I'll show you how we can configure it from step by step, and we will check about how it will work. So let me just head over to my other page. So this is the end outcome that we are planning to achieve here. So let me just go to one of my page here, and let me just remove the button which I have at this moment on this page. So let me just delete those. Okay, so there are two or three different methods to add clear all and apply to all buttons. The one is optimize button. So this is also one of the feature which was recently rolled out. So basically from your previous setting, you just need to enable this optimize ribbon, and under this optimize ribbon we have this feature apply all slicer button. So you can simply add that from here as well. So that is one way of doing that. Second way of doing is it is available under your button section as well. So just go to the insert and go to the buttons, and here you can see all the button like apply to all slicers and clear all slicers. So this is also we can simply use it. Both the techniques are almost same. And third is, let's say for an example, you have your existing report and you want to implement this feature. Then let's say in most of the time in existing reports, we have a regular button like this. It looks really ugly due to the theme that the report we have, but simply this is the button, and the button we have action. So you simply need to turn on the action, and from the action you can simply change the type of your button with apply all or clear all slicers. Because I know with the existing features or existing reports, we did not have this clear all slicers earlier. So at that time we are playing around with bookmark and selection pane, and we are just resetting our slicers via that way. So now this feature is natively available, so we don't need to go with those whole long effort that we were doing earlier. So we can just use these buttons and just utilize this action from the button. Now how it will work, let me just talk about this thing. So let's say for an example, I added this apply to all slicers, and similar way simply I just need to add clear all slicers on my page as well. So the formatting is not up to mark. So what I will do is, after I did this add this button, basically I apply some sort of formatting of border and color, and I already created a page, so it will look like this. I just change border, font and all. Now by default this apply to all slicer is disabled until you do not make any selection. So this is the native functionality which is available out of the box. Now when you select something from your drop down, let's say I selected company, as soon as you select it, it enable this for you. Similar way you can apply other filters as well from your page, and after that you can simply click on apply all slicers, and that will render your report data accordingly. So I'm just clicking on control plus click, and that will take that impact. So let it to be. So you can see it is changed, and you can see my whole report because it doesn't have a proper data in that. Similar way, if I just want to revert back to my slicer option, I can simply use this clear all slicers, and that will reset all the slicers, and I can see all the data quickly. So definitely this is the very common feature that we all looking for our report many times when we have a large amount of data we have in our Power BI report, and we want to provide this kind of functionality to our end user. So yeah, with 2023 update, just utilize this feature in your report and just improve your report performance. Yeah, that's it.
Dhruvan, just
Yes,
for the references, uh, so it does not have a cascading effect in a way that if I choose, because sometimes what happens, the filters are interconnected because interactions are there across each other. So if you select company, company and then country, so it won't change the report. It will only be at the last when you apply the filters, then only it will do.
exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
okay. So, but it won't slice then for example, if you're choosing a company, it won't slice the country. For
Exactly. It
example,
will not.
It will not. So you have to have that. Okay, then you manage that
Exactly.
way. Okay, okay. So
Exactly.
there are different
Exactly.
ways. Okay, okay.
All right. That's it. Now I would like to hand over the stage to Prince. Are you ready?
Yeah, just give me a second. Open. Yeah, I'll start.
Sure.
I'll start.
Okay,
Okay,
perfect. Great.
okay, okay. I'm gonna start with. Give me a second. Yeah. So guys, for today, my topic would be more towards from a AI perspective. Um, I think I had done this session earlier also, but let's have a recap. I think it's been long time. I even have done it myself also. So let's see. Okay. Let me see if you are able to see my screen.
The AI is back on the scene, Power BI scene as well with ChatGPT coming back. So
Yeah,
it's a buzzword again,
everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
right? All of a
So
sudden, there is more mobilization in organizations around exploring AI, ML, auto ML implementations and all. So I
yes,
think we could
yes. I'm gonna
relook
show.
here how well Power BI integrates with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna show that as well. Just give me a second. Yeah. As well. Yeah. It's been long. I think even within the Power BI community also it had gone down a little bit, and then
It,
people.
I would say it was ahead of its time, Prince, with the adoption
Yeah.
taking place. Now that with more and more push coming towards AI and ML, this should
And
be
there
definitely back on the scene.
yeah, and then it will be also it will come up with the more better version of the previous
Exactly.
one, to be honest.
Right.
Because previously they were had lot of backs also, because they were limited to certain things, correct?
Right.
Ju- Just give me a second. I have this auto ML also. Yeah. So let's start with the first. Okay, guys, we know there are a lot of cool features, to be honest, in and they were very quite ahead of time as well, as I mentioned in the last time as well, that a second, and where is the PPT? Yeah. So what I'm gonna show today was the one of the reports that I had built a long time back for the COVID. Just showing the one of the AI features within the report itself for prediction analysis. I think prediction analysis is something that all the kids wants to do in their life, in a way that how to predict future things. Not only from that can data can provide with them, and that's something that we are Power BI had this option enabled for the longest, to be honest. um, and then there are certain more features along with that AI part that Microsoft have already been part of it. So I'm going to show you something. So I had plotted this chart for 2020 COVID cases when it was coming up. So it came up with how does the whole way of it's going, and how the wave will go ahead with it. Obviously, it did not manage to go that way. It actually exponentially growth at that moment of time. But that's something AI could not predict at that moment of time. But maybe I think if I redo this one, then it might have a change. So, but how does it works? So with Power BI, there are two kind of forecasting. One is the double AS, and one is the triple A. So what does it means? So there one is addictive, and then one is multiplicative prediction analysis that happens here. So one has seasonal trends enabled with it. One does not have a seasonal trends enabled with it. But what you can do, you can just simply go without knowing, understanding how does it work and how does it does its calculations. What you guys can we can do, go ahead and do it, is that we can simply, so generally it's not on all the visuals that you will have this enable this further analysis visual out there, because these are the on certain AI features that has been added to some particular so-called so-called objects, or so-called visualization. So what you guys can do, we can simply for a linear chart, it's enabled. So what you can do, um, you can enable the forecasting method here. Put it different options. So for example, how much time you want to predict for. For example, if I want to predict for years, simply I'll reduce one year. And then if what I'm trying to ignore the last one is that I cannot ignore, because I only have 1 year data. So, but you can ignore certain months, because you sometimes you feel that these are the months that should have been ignored. Um, you can enable whether you want some seasonality points. For example, there could be a seasonal data as well. For example, you have a winter clothes and then you have summer clothing. So these are dependent on the seasonal also. So your summer clothes will be bought and sold more in summer than their winters would be less, winter clothes would be done in winters it would be less. So you can have a seasonality points also. It will capture its own. You don't have to do it auto. You can enable auto, you can enable the way you want, but generally people leave it to auto so that it gets done on your. And then you need to understand the confidential level. What Okay, so for example, if you reduce your confidence level, it will increase the graph area that your trend area should remain under this one. So I'll just show you this one. Just a second. Okay, so this is how it was trying to implement. And if I increase the area, so it will reduce this gray area, which it tells that it is more confident of the see. So it's linearizing it. So that's how you need to figure out the whole thing here. So the forecasting and okay, just give me a second. So you can have lines, you can have, it depends upon what you want area within your confidence level, and then you have multiple things that you can do it with the forecasting, all those lines and dotted and all those things. So but what it tells you is that it gives you in hand feature for someone who does not know the whole thing of AI, or does not have a very hands-on experiences in doing the statistical modeling and all those things. That's something you guys can easily do it with these kind of AI features across in here, and then you and it's easily built on the basis of what on your data set itself. You don't have to worry about too many things across. So that's one of the cool features of the AI within Power BI. I'm gonna put it to another one. Just give me a second. If this is open, yes. Okay. So this is another feature that it does it. Um, this is a text analytics that it has it within Power Query. So you have AI across the Power BI different components. Okay, I'm not gonna put it here. Just give me a second. I think I have it here somewhere. Okay, where is my text analytics? 1 second. I so this is the text analytics that I'm gonna show you guys. Just give me a second. I get the reports. That's what happened. Tuk, 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 tuk. Okay, before I go to the text analytics, I'll show you one more feature of within this here Q&A report. Let's do it on the report level first, and then in the meantime I fix that one. So this is what it tells you. So for example, this is an NLP where it helps you build your report by just asking the questions to the Power BI itself. So you give him the data set and you say, okay, fine, this is how you wanted to want this. So for example, I would ask, no, I want some of okay, recovered. So it will keeps on giving you the report itself. You don't have to create your own report. So you just keep asking the right questions to it, and then it will keep on telling you the sum of recovered, sum of active active cases by country, by country legend. So it will keep on telling you how you want, and someone who does not know Power BI or doesn't have a good hands-on experience can just simply use these kinds of features and build its reports very easily. Then it gives you the key influencers also. Then you can just tell him what it tells you, what segments it is, so you don't have to maintain those things. You just tell him what you want confirmed cases to increase, what influences you want it's increasing, why it's increasing, the reasons behind it. So it's these are very cool AI features that already Power BI has it, and it has it for years now. It does not it's not something new with it. And it's very easily maintained in it. So you guys, it's very easy for us to have this all these things easily build over the period of time. You guys can build it over the period of time. And you someone who's very new to Power BI, someone does not understand it very easily, can use these features to build its reports very easily. And then someone who has a very good knowledge about already about these Python and R can build their own visuals as well as the scripting of the report as well. Let me see if I have that coefficient linear. Yeah, because half of my reports were not working right now. It just hanged on me. Yeah, I think I have it here. Yeah. So this is the report I built on the Power BI on Python itself. I built this multiple linear regression in DAX itself. So what it does, it tells you it has its coefficient values done with through a Python script. I'm going to show you that Python script also if I can get the report enabled up and running on my local system by the time Abhinav does it. So I can take back the screen after Abhinav is done. So in the meantime, I can fix these reports. So what it does, it really tells you what influences you have on a particular input. For example, it clearly tells you the coefficient value of TV ads is the maximum. So for example, if you reduce the cost on the TV input, it decreases your profit value. So for example, if you and we know we see the coefficient value for the newspaper is inversely proportional to the profit. So for example, if you put more money in newspaper, you're going to lose. You're not getting good profits if you're putting more ads towards the newspaper. So this is what it really helps you build these reports very easily within the AI features of Power BI. I wanted to show the prediction auto ML also, but I think it's see if I model performances are there or not. Okay. What I will do, Abhinav, you can take it over from here. But once my reports are enabled here featurely correctly, then I'll show them in details from the backend itself. Is it okay with you, Abhinav?
Sure, Prince, I can go ahead.
Yeah. In the meantime, I'll fix my reports on the local
No
ones.
problem at all.
Okay, give me 5 minutes.
Meantime, Abhinav, you can go ahead and start
Yes,
with.
Robin, just pulling up. All right, I'll share up. So why I'm taking up this topic. All right, this is I hope my screen is visible.
Yes, it is.
All right. So why I'm taking up this topic back again after a couple of years, because traditionally people have worked in silos, developing their own Power BI reports, creating their own data sets, and then you end up a cluster of data sets, which are very difficult to maintain. Their data size grows. They compete against each other for the resources, and at a point you start noticing lag in your Power BI refresh and other things. So to overcome that, a development practice that was established was having a central model, right? Having experienced data modeler build that model and then connecting live to those reports. So that has been quite successful. But what I've seen is the challenges with respect to adoption to it, because people do not know how to create reports live connected to the data sets. Okay, how to deploy a report and then start up from there. So now with a recent feature, this has been enabled. I think it's been 3 to 4 months now that it was live, but it has been enabled that even an ordinary developer can go in, right? A new citizen developer can go in and build this ecosystem of live reports. So let's understand for that what was traditional Power BI development import methodology and were their challenges. So like I mentioned, people draw data, create their own data set in silos, and then do the development. Growing report size with import model was a challenge. Data silos, multiple users adding their own transformations, models changes, no reusability, version issues with multiple developers, and challenges in parallel development. So not many people could work in parallel then. Everyone who wanted to work had to create their own data set. So now what we move towards is a centralized data set where one central data set report is there, and then other developers work live connected to that report. That way you resolve these problems of not having multiple developers work in parallel, and also not have replicating the transformation logic or DAX queries, etc., or any model changes, etc., to replicate it across all the reports. So previous methodology was pretty cumbersome, wherein you had developed one report, deployed it, and then you created live connected report. Or to convert your current report to a live connected report, you had to go back to the model, clear out all the connections and everything, and then you had to reconnect that report to a centralized deployed model. So it was there were certain steps associated with it, but it was not as visible and clear as it should be. Now, what we see here is that, for instance, you developed one product sales data model and you deploy it to Power BI. Okay, so steps have been made easy because with Power BI, unlike analysis services, you also get a POP PBX file attached with it. So every time you deploy a Power BI data model, you will see that Power BI report comes along with it, an empty report though. So if you look at this right now, I've deployed a product sales data set onto the Power BI. And on Power BI, you see an empty report here. But earlier, what you had to do, you had to develop a scratch a development report, and then you connect that live to the Power BI datasets using connect live to Power BI dataset, and then you could start the development. Now what you would be able to do is you'd be able to download this file and you'll have this feature here, a copy of your report with live connection to the data online. Okay, so this helps you kickstart your development immediately, getting a template file that is already connected to this data set, and you could go about development in that. So let's see how it functions. If you are if you are going to use the first, that is a traditional option, that you'll get the report along with the data and a huge data set file, right? Sometimes it is like to start developing with an existing data set, you had to download the whole, and sometimes it grows in gigs. So for instance, if you are trying to download something that is 3 GB in size, you would never be able to download it and start development on it. So the lightweight option is ready handy there for you, one, and then you are able to kickstart your development immediately. So even if this data set size was like 3 gigs in size, you don't have to bother about downloading the data set. You want to develop a report, go ahead, download a copy of the report with live connection to the data online, and see this file is immediately available for you to work with. All you need to do is rename that file according to your naming convention, what you like, and then start development on it. So let's see, as this pulls up, we'll try to do this change and immediately deploy it. And in the meanwhile, I'll show you that the storage, right? So if I look at the storage here, you see that this is 50 MBs in size, this particular data set. If I was to download it right now, it would have taken me a minute or two to download this and then subsequently make changes and upload it there. So let's go back to the workspace and let me see if my Power BI report has pulled up. So it's still pulling up. Bringing it into the frame now, and this was live connected to the dataset with all the fields available to me. So whether I want to, now create a table or whatever, I want to add a visual, I want to create a graph. I had earlier created one. I'll just pull that up. So like this one, and then I can save this file as. It says live. and then choose to publish it or upload it to the workspace. Let's go there and upload it to our workspace. So you see, I didn't have to download this whole report, right? To be able to generate a report on top of its dataset. All we did is we had to create product sales, and then we could deploy that there. And if we see product sales live, it is on there. So every time now when we go to the Power BI product sales, we could download it using this feature, any new file that we want to do, any particular development. And then what we'll end up with is we'll end up this kind of infrastructure wherein we are developing from product sales all 4 or 5 reports which are connected to that data set. Now here it looks like I used the wrong report, because what you see here is you see 2 data sets, which is not right. So let's rectify that. One thing that happened here is I picked up the wrong file, made change to it, and that was not live connected, that was actual. So now you see 2 data sets here, right? Which should not be the case. With a live connected report, you should only see 1 data set. And if you go back to the lineage report, it should only be showing 1 particular data set. Okay, so it should not be 2 in here. Unfortunately, I clicked on the wrong one. So just bear with me for a second and a minute. I'll need to re-sign into my Power BI dev and then progress from there. So if you have multiple Power BI accounts, right, on your desktop, you need to be signed in with the right one which you are using currently. So I'm using my development account currently, so I need to be signed in with it. Taking a bit to sign up, but I would like to stress the fact that once you download it, these should be connected live to the same data set, not the other data sets. So what we'll do here, we'll move over till that point to the next thing that I wanted to cover. In the meanwhile, I figure out my sign in. Probably need to reset that password. Has been long that I use this account. So we are going back to the workspace and we are going to the product sales. Now you see this create paginated report option. So when you used to click this, it used to create a paginated report for you. Now you see that we have far more options now. You could create earlier only a PBX file. Later you got an option to create a tabular report there. And now if you want to create a tabular report, you'll get an option to save it within the workspace. So you do not need to go back to the back to the PBX developer tool, and you could create them right here. So if you want a printable report created for your data set, that would be available right here. Once it is done, you could actually save it. Okay, save it to your workspace, calling it as paginated product. And this is pretty much it. If I go back to my data workspace, and you see the good part is that this is still a uh, Pro workspace. So you see this paginated report is connected live to my product sales, and product sales report is already there. So you have this option of creating a paginated report as well, connected live to that data set. So this is pretty much within your workspace. It helps you to furnish a printable version of your reports when you are creating a ecosystem for the clients where they also need a printable version. It was pretty difficult. You had to go back and use a different tool to create paginated report. All right. So that tool actually needed a learning curve. I'm trying to pull up one. Report builder. So the tool is called as Power BI Report Builder. And earlier, what you had to do is you had to go to the Power BI Report Builder, create a report live connected to the data set, and then you were able to create a report and deploy it to this workspace. And then it also needed a premium capacity, either a premium per user or a premium P1 capacity. So you see how easy it is now to create it within the workspace. And by the day, there are more features being added to it where you could format it even further.
That's great. And Abhinav, I can see one question in from the YouTube live is about your topic. Like someone is asking, is it same like a shared data set, or is it something which is totally a different thing?
So shared data set is a concept, Dhruvin, that was used in Power BI Paginated. That was like earlier SSRS and thereafter Power BI Paginated world. So here it's, though technically it is a shared data set, but it actually is a tabular cube in itself that you are connecting live with.
Okay.
So the data set that we see here, right? It's not actually a shared data set as in the sense that used to be in SSRS world, right? MSBI, when you used to work with MSBI SSRS, it is a live connected tabular cube, right?
Okay.
So just that we have developed it in Power BI instead of developing it in, with Visual Studio in SSAS, you get a Power BI report by default connected with it. Okay, so that's the only caveat, that when you develop a tabular model with Power BI, if I were to develop this product sales tabular model with SSAS, there would be no report attached to it. Then you can create Power BI reports separately connected live to it, a paginated report connected live to it, right? And could develop the data out of it, develop it out of that. So right now, if you see this paginated report connection to product sales, it is using the same data set, which is shared with product sales and paginated report. But technically, it is not called a shared data set, right?
Okay.
It's still called a tabular cube. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
I can go now. If Abhinav done?
Yes, Prince. Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Okay.
It's done. I'm just figuring out my login. I wanted to have the product sales live, also live connected to product sales to demonstrate. While that is being done, you can pull up back. Yeah. Thanks much.
Thanks, Abhinav.
Thank you, Abhinav.
Prince, you're frozen, or I am frozen.
Yeah, I think we cannot see Prince and his screen. Prince, are you there? I think he left the chat. I cannot see him.
Possibly some network interruption at his end.
Yeah, yeah.
No issues. So till that point, I think we can have an open mic if anyone is having any questions based on the sessions, anything new, someone wants to speak, come onto the mic and speak up from the audience,
Absolutely.
they're more than welcome.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I
Sorry,
think,
sorry, sorry. I think my connection dropped.
yeah, I think, Prince, we can't see your screen and we can't see you as well.
You can't see me. Can you hear me?
I can hear
Yes,
you,
yes.
but we cannot see your screen.
Now
Uh,
I'm able to see.
Now it just appear. Yeah. Yep.
can you see me? Can you see the screen now? I can't hear you.
Yes, we can.
Okay, okay, then it's okay. Okay, I wanted to show the text analytics first part, and then I'm going to show you the auto ML also, just quickly. Okay, so guys, this was sorry if the data set was missing, so that's why you were not able to see it. So if you see on your home tab itself, you get this Azure machine learning, vision, and the text analytics. Vision, I don't have the data set right now, but I'm going to show you the feature at least. Um, so this is a text, and this is a data set that I got it. It's you have a lot of text in reviews and all that stuff, so it's very difficult for someone to come and tell whether it was a good, bad, ugly, whatever. Okay, so it takes, and when it is millions of analysis, then it becomes more problematic, right? So we did nothing but just a normal correction of then how do we do this core analytics? Okay, just give me a second. So it asks you for every feature because AI feature is only enabled for the premium accounts. So you need to have that account to use all these features. Uh, just give me a second. I'm just gonna log in 679310. Go. Let's connect. Is Powerbase too slow today? Logging in also is becoming too slow. Okay. Because none of this data is sensitive, that's why I just did not put sensitivity out there. And even the AI function was also not sensitive. The result output for me at least is not sensitive because just a common data set. Else, it's up to depending upon your organization. You need to figure it out what kind of data you are playing with. So yeah. So once you do this one, so what it does, so you can just simply say a text here. Okay, for example, I say bad com something like that. You just invoke it. It will just try to see it will just try to give you the end output of the function, what it should score it. And similarly, it does it for the vision as well, that it tries tends to give you the example of the photos, example of the pictures, that how you can find the pattern in the pictures and all those things. So it's all clearly inbuilt, and you even it extracts the real so it gave you a score, a score that can be used, that is where for a bad ones and those kind of things. So just give me a second, I think it will be here now. Okay. So what it does the review. It reviews the sentiments of each and individual review comment that was given to us at that moment, and then you can build a good Power BI report over it to understand exactly where the pattern is going across. Even it does even the phrases, extract the phrases as well. Just give me let me pull in a value from somewhere, so it will track to extract. I'm a I'm a very honest person with I pay. I'm just making any version. Okay. So then it will try to extract a real phrase out of it as well. So you need to so these are the coolest features that they have it already, and then we just need to get our right data set provided to the Power BI, and it does its own work on its own. So we don't have to be see it tells high pay salary and honest person. So something like that. Okay, so it's a very cool feature that is already enabled with you guys. It's already available. We just need to just know how to use it, and that's it. And even don't have to understand the so-called if you're not too much into where you don't need to understand the whole concept, whole the way the way the models have been applied across there in Power BI. And another thing that even Abhinav was mentioning on it was the auto ML. Okay, so I'll just show you. There's a data set here. It's a very it's an honor, or it's something that it tells whether it's a revenue price would be enabled or not. I'll just show you the field here also that we're gonna predict upon. Wait, where is my revenue? So this is a data set which it tells it's a house building data set. It depends upon what are the different factors within the housing environment, whether it's what's the price, bedroom, bathrooms, uh, areas across living area and all this stuff. And that houses have been sold in past year within an area, and then you you and then so for example, now you want to predict something and you want to create some statistical modeling over it. You don't have to be an expert in a Power BI on all those things. So what you need to do is that, give me a second, tap back, use your data set that I said, and then you uh, predict what columns you want to predict out of it. For example, I want to predict the whether it is a revenue, whether revenue will be true or not, whether I if I buy something, whether I will get my revenue back on it or not. So something so I predict this revenue column, and then I can go ahead, choose different models here. Classification, regression is not enabled for this one because this is not the data set that is required for the regression. So you can do a distinguish between the three or more outcomes, or you can predict what is the next outcome of that binary prediction. I'll use a binary prediction, then I choose a column, target output column, then I see if it's matching, then it's a true, and if it's mismatch, it's a false. You predict, you go, then it selects your data. So either you can reset, for example, I don't want informational duration and all these things won't impact my data set, something like that. Administrative duration will not impact the outcome of this result. Or for example, if they might not have choose certain columns, you might have say, okay, traffic type might impact it, but maybe the browser does impact, operating system does not impact. So just remove those one that you want, or let it choose as well. So it depends upon whether you trust Power BI, and if you want to change it as per your need basis, you can change it as well. Then you go predict, then it tells you what, just give a model name. I say demo underscore Delhi. And then you tell them the more you train the model, the more better the model will become. The lesser you train, the lesser accuracy you will achieve it with the model. So it was giving you so we say train it for 5 minutes just for now, but ideally you should train more for it. But it's just for the references, and then you go and save and train. And once your it's ready, it will tell you that it's already there. So I'll just use the current one, existing one only. Okay. So let it, in the meanwhile it's training, we can use the, okay, let it refresh. So in the meantime, you can just it once it gives you a report like this. Let me show you. Yeah, prediction report. Obviously, you can create much more better report than this one, but these are just a sample one that we created last time around a long time ago. So it tells you the training details, how many sample rows were used, how many it was used for iterations, and how many iteratively it ran on the same data set to come up with these predictions. It tells you more over uh, the iteration it went through, what were the results through those things, your models across your those things, and then it gives you the model performance as well. That how did your model performed, probability threshold. Then you can use this reports population. For example, you will increase this number, the amount of data it has to process through, and then you increase the unit. So it tells you how from a 60 million people, that how the ratio will look like in those performances. Then it tells you the how much accurate your model is it, depending upon what population you're using it. So your model should be in between these two. The way we did the forecasting, it's a region that it tells you, okay, this is the region where you will it will lie across. So these are the things that you don't have to do it on your own. Power BI does it for you. So these are the coolest AI features that it is available, and I think these are the ones that any modeler or any advanced person, not having too much of understanding from a AI perspective or data modeling perspective, can use this and still build their own models in the starting of their career, and then obviously keep on improving the performances across the time. So this is it was from my perspective. I think if Abhinav has got his machine ready, then he can do it on his own. The second part. Anything that Devin, it's on the YouTube. Devin?
Not, not, not at this moment.
Okay. Okay.
But
Abhinav
so
can add up
glad.
on the auto ML part as well, because I know Abhinav did
Uh,
something on auto ML. Yeah.
so Pritha, yes, the fact being that it was out of a lot of buzz, though it's been a couple of years been there, but
Yeah.
I see with with the ChatGPT coming in and focus back on AML implementations, I think it will pick up pace again, coming back into the modeling part,
Y-
helping
Yeah.
Power BI
And they
developers implement it. Hmm.
yeah. And we even added the certain part of it as well, that we gave them the feedback of increasing
Right.
the models, because they were just limited to very particular some small modeling, and we needed a more statistical modeling are enabled in it.
Hmm.
So let's see how Microsoft, because Microsoft is also investing very heavily in AI, correct? So maybe they come with
Right.
something more cool
Yeah.
features in.
Sure. I think I'll quickly pull up one where we left off on the live connected one, and then we can close it. Okay, Rubin?
Perfect.
Uh, So, can you see my screen yet?
Yes.
Okay, so we actually left off because your account needs to be signed in with the same ID. I was on a different ID on my desktop versus this. Once we download the file, live connected file, you see that you do not have the data around here because the data rests in your model, right? In your model data set at your service account. So once you download it, you can build up the visual and then publish it right there. So going back to the report, I actually, while Prince was taking his session, I had published that up. And now you could see that this report that I have developed is live connected to the product sales. So similarly, any other developer comes in and creates a report, they are not changing anything to the model, right? The model still remains intact, and they could create a lightweight version of the Power BI report with different visuals and then publish them to the Flip service, to their respective workspaces. So you see this report, it's a lightweight report with all being connected to the same data set. If they need to do any modifications, they could again download this one, this particular report, and then work with it. So on this report, you will not find this option because we know this report does not have a data set in itself. So you'll find this option also disabled. So all you could do is download it, edit it, and then repost it without making any changes to your data sets. One advantage that you get after moving all of these, doing all these functions in your workspace, you could create an app there, and within that app you will have your paginated version, which is the printable version of your reports, your actual dataset report, which you could choose to ignore, choose not to display that because that's an empty report after all, that has no meaning for end users, and then choose your respective reports to publish them. So that's how it helps you quickly set up your development infrastructure and development guidelines with respect to when you create a new Power BI team and how you would like to go proceed with the development. So a good practice that everyone should adopt to while carrying on the Power BI development. That's pretty much it for the day.
Yeah, thank you so much, Abhinav, for sharing this. And yeah, obviously, like we are almost about to end of this session. So yeah, thank you so much, everyone, like Rajendra, Prince, Abhinav, and all the audience who is joining us on
Yourself,
the different
you
platform.
forgot yourself.
Yeah, thanks to me as well. All right. So we will have our next event in next month. So we will come up with some amazing cool sessions. So stay tuned with us on all the social media handles, and wishing you all a happy weekend ahead.
Yeah.
Happy weekend to you. Happy weekend to
Thank
all.
you
Have a
so
nice
much.
weekend, everyone.
Yeah,
Thanks
bye.
all.
Have a nice weekend, guys.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.